10 years ago, I told my husband that I wanted a divorce. 10 years and 2 months ago, though, I did something that I thought would actually save our marriage. I created a profile on ashleymadison.com. Y'all have heard of it. Ashley Madison is a matching site for married people, and its tagline is, "Life is short, have an affair." At that time, my husband had been avoiding sex with me for several years. And avoiding is kind of too light a term. He actually rejected all my advances. He would not be physically intimate with me. There was no hand-holding, there was no kissing. Every couple of months, though, he would get tired of my begging and my outright animosity, and he'd give me a quick roll in the hay. It was always exactly the same. And it was usually followed by, "You happy now?" I felt so unwanted, unattractive, and unworthy. It took me back to being an awkward and ugly teenager who couldn't get any boy's attention. Now, our marriage had other problems, but I seized on this one as one that maybe I could fix. If I could secretly get my physical needs met, I could be a better wife and mother, maybe, and keep the family together a little bit longer. I do not remember what I wrote in that profile. I do remember that I did not have any pictures that didn't include either my husband or my kid, so I had to crop them out. Within a few hours, I was chatting with several men who seemed like likely prospects. They were close enough to my workplace, they'd written something in their profile, and they looked normal enough. And then one of them suggested that we meet the very next day in a public place to check each other out. Was it really going to be this fast and easy? A few years later, I learned that I was one of the few real women on Ashley Madison. Most of the profiles were from scammers who wanted to separate a man from his money, either through a sob story or through outright blackmail. And even so, there were 10 male profiles for every one female. So yes, in fact, it was that easy. This first guy, it was not his first time, and he had a preferred routine. We agreed to meet at a Courtyard by Marriott near my workplace one afternoon the next week, and he got to the hotel before me. He set up flowers and candles, and he was playing music. And that afternoon, he went down on me. This was literally the first time I had ever received oral sex. Yes, I had been married for 20 years. What is your point? Afterward, I felt no guilt, definitely no shame. I felt like I deserved that joy. Ugly duckling no longer. I went on to meet a second guy at a Candlewood Suites more than once, then a third guy at an Econo Lodge. It was exciting. I felt desired and valuable in a way I hadn't in a long time. I was more in touch with my body than ever. And everything at home was chugging along just the way it had before. The plan was working. Having affairs was fun and easy. Who is getting hurt? A few weeks into this Ashley Madison experiment, I found myself knocking on door 121 of a truly run-down motel on Monroe Road. It was the second time I was meeting guy number 3. Guy number 3 wanted to fuck, but he was broke as fuck. And this is the place he had found for us. I'd almost stepped on a dirty diaper going from the car to the door. And when I got in the room, the air conditioner was drizzling water into the vanity sink. And in that room, guy number 3 asked if I would try anal sex. Keep in mind, I didn't really realize cunnilingus was a thing until very recently. But I had fun with this guy the first time we met, and he seemed nice enough, and he promised he would stop if it hurt. So I said, okay, and we did. And it didn't hurt much. And it was perfectly fine. This is not a story about assault. Driving home that afternoon, though, I had some thoughts that I had never had before. Was I really so desperate for male attention that I was willing to keep doing this? For how long? Because how long would it be before something did hurt, either physically or psychically? And I wasn't even getting what I thought I was getting out of it. These men didn't know me. There was no attraction. It was just mutual neediness, and it masqueraded as desire. I did not want to keep getting fucked by married men. I didn't want to just get fucked at all. I wanted to go to the movies. I wanted to have a dinner companion. I wanted someone who would listen to how my day had gone without rolling their eyes at me. I wanted what I hadn't had in years, to know someone and to be known by them. And this was not the way to get it. So a few days later, I logged out of Ashley Madison for the last time. Took a lot of deep breaths. And later that week, I turned to my husband and I said, "We need to talk."